I'm Mary Michael Brewerton. I'm the intern for Georgia Fruit and Vegetable Growers Association, and today we are here at Tifton, Georgia at Lewis Taylor Farms. With me today we have a special guest, Miss Jessica Kirk, and she is the Director of Food Safety and Marketing here at Lewis Taylor. So Miss Jessica, will you tell us a little bit about yourself and how Lewis Taylor came to be?
Sure. I am the third generation here at Lewis Taylor Farms. My grandfather and his partner bought the farm back in the late 50s. My dad currently still obviously runs the farm. We started out as a bare root transplant operation, and now many years later we grow about 6,500 acres of in-ground produce. Also grow around 1,000 acres of cotton and peanuts in season. We have 81 greenhouses where we grow about 375 million transplants that we ship all over the United States. And then we also grow about 90 million pine tree seedlings around the year. So we stay pretty busy. We're a year-round operation. We grow in the fall and the spring.
So what makes a bell pepper special?
Bell peppers are a unique fruit. As you can see, we're in this beautiful field right now. They pack more vitamin C actually per weight than a citrus fruit does. They are so diverse. You can use them in baked recipes. You can use them in fresh recipes. I love to use them to eat instead of potato chip because it gives me that crunch, but it doesn't pack on those calories. They have lots of water in them, so they're refreshing, and they just have so many different varieties. As you can see here, this field is a green pepper, and which most people don't realize, green pepper is actually an early picked red pepper. Green pepper turns red, and then that's where you get your red pepper in the grocery stores. Yellow pepper is a different variety in itself, but green pepper is just a very diverse grown produce here in Georgia. It's actually the fourth largest crop that we grow in the state of Georgia.
That is very good information. So how do you harvest a bell pepper?
Bell pepper, just like all of our produce here, is harvested by hand. It has to be harvested that way because if you used a machine or some other mechanical you would damage the produce, and when produce goes into our facility, it goes through a post-harvest wash process. It gets packaged into boxes and sent to our retailer. But if there's bruises or scratches or anything like that, we can't send that product to the grocery store. So everything has to be done by hand, which in South Georgia this time of year is really hot and it's a long process.
Yes, ma'am. So since you are the food safety director here on Lewis Taylor Farms, tell us, what food safety precautions do y'all take on the farm?
We take a lot of food safety precautions, and we take it really seriously. We've been doing food safety since the early 90s. We were one of the original farms that helped push our Georgia Department of Agriculture to establish a GAP program. We think it's very important that all of our farms that are sending produce into the food chain follow these protocols, starting with simple things like washing your hands, using sanitizers, and making sure that any utensils or field things that you use are clean, to in our facilities, making sure that everybody has the right things, the hairnets, the gloves, all your soap and things like that. Obviously with COVID right now, we've gone that extra step to make sure that everything is okay for packing and ready to go to the consumer. The United Fresh and the USDA has already told everybody that all your produce is safe, that you're not going to get sick from it, but we still want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence and making sure that it's fresh and ready to go.
Of course, and we do appreciate you doing that for us consumers. So tell me a little bit about what's the most important thing about food safety?
To me, as a consumer, what I always encourage people to do is, one, know what's in season. Know what in the United States, what we have right now to offer. If it's not in season, if it's January and you want a watermelon, which I've always told everybody, you probably don't want to buy it. Wait until it's here in the U.S. And if it's in a bag, or if it's at the grocery store and it says pre-wash or whatever, wash your produce. It doesn't matter how much it's been cleaned. You need to wash your produce. And you don't have to use any special cleaners. You don't have to have anything, special brush or anything, but just a little water in your hand, rubbing on the top of the fruit. That's the biggest thing, is make sure that you as a consumer do your part to make sure your fruit and vegetables are safe. On a farm, we do all our steps to make sure that we're getting it there, but once it leaves us, it goes to a grocery store, so you don't know who's come in contact with it.
Correct. And so what is one thing that you would like to tell the consumers?
Our biggest thing, especially right now with how hard hit the agriculture industry has been with, we've had hurricanes and we've had disaster after disaster, is buy Georgia grown if you can. If it's out there in the market, buy it. If it's ready to be, harvested, ask your retailers, hey, can we get some Georgia grown products in here? We want that. And if it's not Georgia grown, buy U.S. grown. Support your farmers here in the United States, because I can promise you, if we don't support our agriculture industry, we're gonna be in a bind. We're gonna be in a lot of trouble. And I see this as a national security issue, making sure that we have the food that we can to feed and supply for our nation.
And this is kind of a fun question for you and us. What is your favorite thing to do with a bell pepper?
My two most favorite things. One is I love to take, we also grow mini sweets, which I'm sure y'all seen those in the grocery store. I love to take those and cut them up and eat them with pimento and cheese. It's one of my all-time favorites. It gives that crunch, and the mini sweets have a good flavor to them. I also love doing stuffed bell peppers. I love doing those. And since I don't eat a lot of carbohydrates, I do like the cauliflower rice and stuff. And I love to keep that crunch of the pepper. It makes you feel like you're getting something extra special. But there are just so many great uses and recipes for bell pepper that, it's like endless. Anything from fajitas to a side dish, chips, use them with, a dip or whatever.
Yes, ma'am. I know that I learned so much today about a bell pepper and food safety precautions that I need to take and that y'all can take. I want to thank Miss Jessica and Lewis Taylor Farm for having us today. I hope you all learned something, and if you ever do have any questions about Georgia fruits and vegetables or what's in season, please contact us and we will be glad to answer them. I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you.